see? Are we getting to the likes of Hollywood, the likes of Nollywood? Are we getting somewhere, or we're already somewhere? We're not even comparable.
I'd say Hollywood. Hollywood was big in the last 100 years. Let's say the first 100 years of cinema were for Hollywood, but the next many years, Hollywood will be where not to go, what not to look at. So in terms of film, right now, all our eyes are facing east, you know, to what the Koreans are doing, what the Asians are doing, you know, and it's only a matter of time before we look at ourselves and hopefully see ourselves as well, and the rest of the world sees what we are doing, because Hollywood and the rest of the world. So Hollywood has their template, and this is a template that has been pushed to everyone, yeah? But there are so many ways of telling stories, and this is what the Asians are doing and taking their different parts. But Africa is bigger on story, you know, and there are so many untapped stories here. There are so many untapped talents here. And even Hollywood itself is looking our way. Think of all the movies we've seen, Marvel and the rest that are now really big. Everyone's coming back this way, from the casting to the stories to the locations and all. So it's only a matter of time. It's interesting seeing Leonardo DiCaprio being interested to do a project here. And this has just been confirmed very recently. Idris Elba being interested in doing a project and funding it in Tanzania. This has been confirmed this past week. So clearly, everyone's looking back home, you know? Everyone's looking back home, because no matter where you're from, Africa is home. And in terms of what we are putting out there, we are getting there, because filmmaking is a craft, just as theater making is. And in terms of story, we can see the improvement both on TV and on film. In terms of the writing and story as well, we can see a lot of improvement even on stage, you know. But most of all, I'd say our biggest gift is the actors. We have insane talent here. We have absolute talent here. We have very good young performers. We have very...
Like the likes of who?
The likes of, who comes to mind? Yeah, so we have the Kenya Theatre Awards coming up. They should be here 3 weeks into February. And even from the list of the actors who've been put up for awards, you can tell. So we have legends in the likes of Angel Waroinge, who we know from Tahiti High as Miss Morgan. She's a star. She's brilliant. We have Nice Kithenji from I Will Marry When I Want and all these different projects. She's a star. She's a legend. But then again, we also have the likes of Lorna Lemi. Lorna Lemi is in her early 20s, and she's phenomenal. Last year, we had a play at the theater, Simba Bazenga, which was a musical Sheng version of Lion King. And Chadota, who was the lead actor there, she was brilliant. Yeah, Chadota was also as good, even in I Will Marry When I Want. So there are lots of talent here. From the short films that are being seen by the young filmmakers, you can see all the potential there. So yes, Africa has, and we're just talking about Kenya. We haven't looked at Ghana, where a lot of Hollywood eyes are looking at. We haven't looked at South Africa. We haven't looked at Nigeria. Like, Africa is a place to be. And of all those places, Kenya is brilliant when it comes to talent. Yeah, we can see it even with our cinematographers. You know, all the talent that has gone to the West Africa. Yeah. Think about all the sound designers down south. Most of them are Kenyan. So it's only that around here we don't feel as appreciated, so we are moving elsewhere. But
is it that we don't feel as appreciated, or rather we do not get to appreciate our own?
Oh yeah, so I guess saying we do not feel as appreciated is the now a talent and skill and the one who's practicing it. But then again, we don't get to enjoy and see our own. That is the audience. And it's a culture thing, you know. For instance, going to theater, had it been culture, it would have been inculcated in our lives as early as 5, you know. I built my career at the Phoenix Players, and the Phoenix Players, up till it died in 2017, for those 30 years, the culture was every 3 weeks there's a new play. It was a repertory theater, meaning throughout the year there was always a play there, and any day you'd call and say, can I come watch something? And people would come. But the thing about the Phoenix is yes, you'd come and buy a ticket at the door, but there was also the Western way of buying particular dates. So, you know, every Wednesday of every second week of the month, I'm at the theater and I'll book this whole row with my family. It's a culture thing. So the expatriates would do it. Once they come here, they'd have their family, and they knew every last Thursday we had the theater, and we made the payments for the next 2 years, for the next 6 months. So even a child who belongs to our family and they're like 5, they know every month we go to the theater at least twice. By the time they're 15, it's a thing they do. By the time they're 30, theater is life. Going to the movies is life. So it's a culture thing. If we now start doing it more often, we don't just have to wait for Wakanda to go to the theaters, to just make it a thing to go to the theaters. We are doing pizza, sawa, let's go do a movie. We are doing fries, let's go do a movie. Or after church, sawa, let's go do a movie. You know, if we make it a thing, if we make it culture, then definitely the artists will feel appreciated, and the market will also see what we have here. Yeah.
Okay. So, talking about feeling appreciated in the market, where we are right now in the market,